The Zambia Institute of Chartered Accountants will hold its 2023 AGM on 11th August 2023. ZiCA remains a critical institution in the country's economic development. During the general meeting, the Institute will be holding elections to choose council members, including their president. At this critical moment, ZiCA requires a visionary, focused and tested leadership. In this race, Jetty Lungu offers the kind of credentials and track record ZiCA needs. You want to become ZiCA president. In your view, what attributes should the president have? Do you have these attributes?
Since the ZiCA Council is about a board of directors, I will talk about my experience sitting on boards. I have sat on different boards in the profit sector, non-profit sector, public sector, as well as the accountancy sector.
The ZiCA electorate want to know, who is Jetty Lungu?
I got a lot of interest in service clubs and serving the community when I was at school. I started with joining lots of clubs at primary and secondary school, and at secondary school I actually formed the Maths Club. And I feel it's one way of giving back to the community. And in the last 2 decades, I've been involved in Roundtable Zambia. I was actually the chairman of Roundtable number 11 in Lusaka. And I'm actually a member of Rotary Club as well. And it's important actually to belong to these clubs because you actually find a way of giving back to the community. I'm also involved in different boards and leading boards as well. I've got experience in being president of the Association of Microfinance Institute in Zambia. I'm also the chairman of Project Concern Zambia. So it's important actually to get that leadership experience as a chairperson of the board.
Why do you think that you're the best candidate for the position of ZiCA president?
I would say that I'm the best candidate for this particular role as ZiCA president because I understand ZiCA's governance structure. I've been involved in ZiCA's governance structure at committee level for more than 10 years. I have experience in 3 different committees, and I've added value while I've been on those committees. And on top of that, I've also got experience from other professional bodies such as ZiCA at council level, and that gives me a different perspective to the accountancy profession. I've been involved in different roles at ZiCA at board level in ZiCA South Africa, as well as in an executive role. So that range of experience is really, really critical, which I have, which I think the other candidates do not have. I do have a good strategy under the 4 pillars, which I think is the best strategy so far. And at the same time, I do have a vision that reflects the desires of the members, because I've taken time talking to the members. I've been talking to them since 2020 when I initially stood for presidency. So I'm definitely in touch and I do know what time it is.
What are these 4 pillars we keep hearing about? Please tell us more.
The core of my campaign is my strategy, which is the 4 pillars. And these 4 pillars include thought leadership, equity and inclusiveness, and strategic partnerships, as well as ICT innovations. The details are there in the document that I provided. Now, the unique thing about my strategy is that it is something that was crafted in 2020 by consulting with members across the country. And then I sat with my team of experts who are my advisors, and that's how we formulated it. So it's using the normal process of strategic planning, and it has inspired a lot of other candidates. As you can see, a lot of them are talking about what we talked about in 2020. For example, they're talking about inclusiveness, which is something we talked about earlier on.
Is there anything else you would like to say to the ZiCA electorate?
I sit on the board of ZCCMIH subsidiary called Kabundi Resources, and to get on that board, I was interviewed by ZCMIH. It was a very, very rigorous interview looking at my track record on boards. So if a parastatal can rigorously interview me to look at my track record, it's also important for ZiCA members to look at the professional track record of the candidates they're voting for. Do they have a track record within ZiCA? Do they have a long track record within the accountancy professional development? Do you have the track record sitting on boards? Do they have a track record leading a board as a chairperson or as a president? That's what ZiCA Presidency is all about. So vote wisely, vote for Jetty.
For stability, experience, and a proven track record of performance and achievement spanning over 2 decades, Jetty Lungu is the embodiment of the leadership that ZiCA needs in order to serve its members, the government, and the country better. Vote Jetty Lungu. #Jet23.